What is going on, guys? It is your role model of the IWC Gamers Goon here today with your Slammiversary 2020 preview and predictions. Now, I don't know if I will be watching this show live because I do have graduation that day, and it depends whether or not family is still around at that time. But I will be watching this show on Saturday night, eventually, whether that's later at night, but I am buying the pay-per-view. We will be watching it Saturday night sometime. I don't know if it will be live or what, but we will be watching Slammiversary this weekend. And then on the day after, we will be reviewing Slammiversary. But anyways, let's get right into what you came for. Let's get into the Slammiversary predictions. Here we go. We'll start off hot. We'll start off with the big topic at hand. Who do I believe is going to be the former world champion that is going to be returning to Impact? Now, I'm going to go off on a limb, and I'm going to say the teasers are what they are, and they're going to be true. We do know one thing. Whoever it is not coming alone. He is not going to come alone. He's going to have some people with him. And what's been floating around is this idea of maybe bringing back Bully Ray. Bully Ray. Because he is a former champion in Impact. We're going to bring him back, and we are going to revitalize Aces and Eights, which, as you know, was back in like 2014, with Bully Ray leading that group. Now, he's going to get a new Aces and Eights. That's what I think is going to happen. That's the rumors going around. I believe in the rumors. I think that's what we are on a path to. And who is the people he's going to come out with? Well, they recently signed Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. So, who better than the Good Bros, the Good Brothers? I think that is going to be who Bully Ray is going to align himself with on this show. Now, I don't know how they're going to go about this. I don't know if they're just going to have a promo, if he's going to be the fourth man in the Fatal 4-Way match. I don't know. But I'm going to go off on a limb, and I'm going to predict that they are going to come out as a unit after the Moose versus Tommy Dreamer match for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going to assume that. That's what I'm predicting. Next. They'll come out for that match. They'll come out for it. Don't worry. But let's get into the meat of it. Let's get into the matches. Let's forget the rumors for a second. Let's forget that possibly Aces and Eights might be coming back as a new revitalized team with new faces in Gallows and Anderson. Let's forget about that. Let's focus on a match that I think is going to steal the show. Willie Mack versus Chris Bay for the X Division Championship title. I don't know if you guys know how great of a wrestler Chris Bay is. If you watch anything Chris Bay has done, the man is, he's one of those athletic guys that I just gravitate towards. He's kind of like a Ricochet. He's kind of like a Swerve Scott. He's just one of those guys that's really good in the ring. And there's really no arguing against it. And then you got Willie Mack. Willie Mack, I've sung his praises multiple times on Twitter and whatever it might be. But he's one of those big guys that can move. He kind of reminds me of a Kevin Owens. Willie Mack's also really good in the ring. So I imagine this match will be very good between Bay and Mack for the X Division Championship match here. However, I do have to make a prediction. I'm kind of torn between these two. I am going to end up picking the guy that I'm more of a fan of. And unfortunately for Chris Bay, that's Willie Mack. I'm torn between who's going to win this match. I'm taking Willie Mack just because I like Willie Mack just that much more than Chris Bay. So I'm going to take my boy Willie Mack. Next, we are going to, I'll save that one for later. We'll talk about that one second to last. Let's get into the North. Ethan Page and Josh Alexander going against Ken Shamrock and Sami Callihan for the Impact Tag Team Championships. The North, they're a very good team. They've been together for a while. They've been holding those tag team championships for the longest of times. Then you got these two new guys in the tag team division. Sami Callihan has been in this tag team division with OVE, but putting Shamrock and Callihan together, that's a new formation of a team. That's a new formation. So that might just be a little bit of a problem for Page and Alexander, because obviously Shamrock, one of those, he's a fighter. Same thing with Callihan. Callihan is just he doesn't care about what anything happens in the match. He just goes for that victory, man. However, I want to mention another rumor. There was a tweet put out by Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, and it said July 18th. Be ready. And he was holding his internet championship or whatever he used to carry. But he was holding it. The one thing that's not pictured, though, is Brian Myers, his friend. You might know him as Kurt Hawkins. Now, I don't see where Matt Cardona, he's not a former Impact champion, so he's not going to fit into that profile. And I don't see where else he could fit in on this card. Maybe the fourth man in the match. Maybe. But what I think is going to happen is we're going to have Cardona and Myers, the former team of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, come in to Slammiversary, and they are going to interfere in this match. Now, that doesn't mean they're heels. Their excuse for actually interfering with this match is going to end up being along the lines of, well, we know how great of a tag team the North is. The North is a great tag team, and they deserve to lose those titles to a great tag team. And let's be honest with ourselves. Shamrock and Callihan, first time teaming, they're not a great tag team. These two guys are not a great tag team. They're just great wrestlers independently. We couldn't see them lose them to them. You know why we couldn't see them lose them to them? Because we want to be the ones to dethrone the North. We want to be the ones that are going to be the faces of this tag team division for months and years on to come. That's the story I see being played out here. I'm going to go with the North picking up this win via disqualification of Shamrock and Callihan. Like I said, I expect Cardona and Myers to show up. If they don't, it was not that big of a deal either way. I still expect the North to end up winning this match, because the North, they just always seem to win. They just always seem to find a way. So I'm going to take the North. Next, let's get in for the gauntlet for the gold match to determine the number one contender for the Impact Knockouts Championship. We got Alicia Edwards, Havoc, Kiera Hogan, Kimberly Lee, Kylie Ray, Nevaeh, Madison Ray, Rosemary, Susie, Tasha Steelz, and Taya Valkyrie. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that there's a clear-cut winner to this, because there's really not. I could see it going a few ways, actually. I could see it going Susie. I could see it going Taya. I could see it going Tasha Steelz. I could see it going Kiera Hogan. I could see it going Nevaeh. I could see it going to Kylie Ray. I could see it going to Rosemary. I don't think Alicia Edwards, Havoc, Madison Rain are really in the running. They might be. I don't know. But at the end of this, I think the winner of this match is going to end up being a one-off. And to see a one-off match, I'm going to probably go off on a limb and say I want to see a Kylie Ray win the Knockouts Championship in the future. So I'm not going to say I'm going to go off on I'm just going to pick I don't even know. You know what? I'm gonna pick Kimberly. Kimberly's my pick for this match. I was thinking of her and Tasha Steelz. I think whoever wins this match is gonna be a one-off. So, just get a decent match out of Kimberly. I think that's what I'm gonna predict here. So, I'm taking Kimberly in this gauntlet match for the gold. Next, let's talk about the match the match I just talked about is going to be the number one contender for. Let's talk about Jordynne Grace and Deonna Purrazzo. Now, Jordynne Grace, I think we all know how great she is. She's been a great Impact Knockouts champion. However, I think everybody knows how much I love Deonna Purrazzo. She's great. She's great. If you didn't see her in NXT with Chelsea Green, she's great. I can't speak the praises of Deonna Purrazzo enough. I'm excited to see Deonna Purrazzo finally in a big picture, because we didn't see that in NXT. We didn't get to see that in WWE. I'm excited to finally see her have a spotlight on her that she deserves, just because of how talented she is in the ring. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is one of those matches that I bought the card for, or I'm buying the card for. Obviously, along with the Fatal 4-Way match for the Impact World Championship, I think that match will be really good. But I'm this is one of the matches that I'm looking forward to the most. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pick the one that I want to win this match, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know who's gonna win this match. I think it go either way, but I'm gonna take the one that I want to win, and I'm gonna take Deonna Purrazzo, because I know how good Deonna Purrazzo is, and I want to see her finally become a champion that she deserves. She's been in NXT. She obviously didn't become the champion over there. I want to see her finally get that spotlight, finally get that moment. I want to see her run Impact's women's division, because Deonna Purrazzo is just that good. So I'm taking Deonna Purrazzo here in the Impact Knockouts Championship match. Now, let's talk about, let's talk about, which one are we going to talk about? Which one are we going to talk about? Let's talk about Moose. Let's talk about Moose first, because he's the self-proclaimed TNA World Champion. He's defending that title against Tommy Dreamer. It's an unsanctioned match. They don't sanction it. Anything that happens in between those ropes or in the arena or whatever, Impact wiped their hands clean. It's not their match. Moose. I think he's going to fight Dreamer before this match. He might do that. And that's where I say, you know how I said Aces and Eights might be coming out after this match? I still think that's going to happen. Because you know who I think is going to, or you know what I think is going to happen? I think Moose is going to wipe the floor with Tommy Dreamer. Just embarrass him. Embarrass Tommy Dreamer. And then Moose is going to sit there bragging about how he owns TNA/Impact, whatever he wants to call it. He's going to sit there and say he owns it. He is the guy. There's nothing and nobody that can stop him. And then you got Bully Ray coming out with Gallows and Anderson, and they come out and they kind of issue a statement to Moose and just let Moose know that he might think he runs Impact, but it always comes down to your aces and your eights. They will always, anytime aces and eights is involved in Impact, they always get the things turning. They always get things manipulated. They are the true people that run the show. So Moose thinking he's going to just act this sort of way and just going around acting like he's still the champion, he'll be put in his place by none other than Bully Ray and his two boys, Gallows and Anderson. That's what I'm going with after this match. Next, we got the Fatal 4-Way match for the Impact World Championship. Obviously, we know some people aren't going to be in this match. I'm not going to address it outside of that statement, but they won't be in the match. And that's what made this lead into a Fatal 4-Way match, which is with Ace Austin, young upcoming guy that I'm a big fan of. We got Eddie Edwards. I think we all know who Eddie Edwards is, what he's meant to Impact. And then Trey. Also one of those up-and-coming guys of the Rascals. Think he'll be very good in this match. He's really talented in the ring. He's a very athletic guy. But the real question that everybody's been asking is who's going to be the fourth man. Maybe it's going to be Bully Ray. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's going to be when they announce the world champion. Maybe that's going to be what happens. Maybe it's going to be EC3. He's a former champion. Maybe it's going to be Eric Young. I don't know. However, I will tell you I think it's going to be. I can't sit here and tell you for certain it's going to be this guy or that guy. But I am going to say that their next guy, their guy for the future is going to be, wait for it, Ethan Carter III. I'm taking EC3 here. I think EC3 is going to be the final piece to the puzzle in this match. I think EC3 is going to finally go back to Impact. I think EC3 is finally going to be given the spotlight he deserves. And I think if EC3 comes into this match in specific, I think he wins. I think EC3 wins this match for the Impact World Championship. Now, if it's an Eric Young, I can't say the same. If it's a Bully Ray, I could see it happening. I don't necessarily want it to happen, but I could see it happening. I think it's going to be EC3, but if it's not going to be the guy that is not been announced yet, I'm going to go with Ace Austin, just because Ace Austin's one of my guys. I think he's going to be really good with that title. So we'll see what happens there. Anyways, I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in to my Slammiversary preview and predictions video. Like I said, this will be coming out on Friday. We will be getting the review for this show out on Sunday. Then obviously we got the Extreme Rules preview coming up today on the day of Slammiversary on Saturday. I got to graduate today, so I'm filming a lot of this before Saturday. And then obviously we got the Extreme Rules review after Extreme Rules. And if you guys haven't seen it, earlier this week I did the Fight for the Fallen preview and predictions, and I also have reviewed the show at this point. At the point of you seeing this, at this point in time, and actual time of this recording, I have not seen Fight for the Fallen yet because it is still Wednesday morning. But we will get to watch that later tonight. So the review is up by the time you are seeing this video, so make sure you guys go back and watch all that. Anyways, your role model of the IWC is going to tell you a few things right before I get out of here. And that first thing that I'm going to tell you is make sure you go follow the Twitter at GamersGoonYT. If you want to keep up to date with me, go over there. If you want to go follow the Instagram, that's thegoongameryt. But I will be more so active on Twitter. If you want to see my initial reactions to the shows that happened this week, go over to the Twitter, because I will be tweeting out my reactions to the show. On top of that, if you want to stay up to date, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you ring that notification bell to be updated every time I do post a video. And if you guys want, you can share this with any of your buddies that you think might like me as a wrestling persona within the IWC. So make sure you do all that. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you do click that like and subscribe button. And for right now, your role model, the Gamers Goon, is going to log off. I'll see you guys next time.